Hello, true believers. High Definition here, and this is a breakdown of each stage so far in MultiVersus. We'll be going over not just hidden visual details easily overlooked by the majority of players, but also the audio references through the game's music. If you're new here though, welcome. I enjoy pointing out the little things that developers spend time putting into our favorite video games. Now, while I mostly cover Marvel content on this channel, I'd like to remind you that I also cover almost any video game that involves superheroes of all kinds, whether that be popular characters from DC Comics or unsung heroes from animated properties. So do expect more videos from here discussing MultiVersus. Anyway, if you do enjoy this content, a like would be super appreciated. Subscribe to this channel and ring the bell for all things superhero related. With that, let's first break down what we can from the newest MultiVersus stage so far. Cromulons from Rick and Morty. Based off the season 2 episode Get Swifty, players fight on this platform from the episode located in Area 51. The stage actually takes place during this galactic talent competition hosted by these giant heads called Cromulons, also the same name as the stage itself, obviously. The stage itself was unlocked by a community challenge, collectively achieving 10 million ringouts with the whole player base. This itself was likely a nod to the Cromulons competition itself, with the devs themselves saying,
"Show me what you got, I want to see what you got."
As mentioned earlier, the song Get Swifty was remixed for MultiVersus.
Oh yeah, you gotta get swifty. You gotta get swifty in here.
But the best remix this stage brings is no doubt an epic arrangement of the Rick and Morty show's theme. Moving on to the next stage on our list, we have the Sky Arena from Steven Universe. This stage is based on the same location visited multiple times throughout the Steven Universe series, but most notably is involved here with the season 3 episode Steven vs. Amethyst. The orchestrated music for the stage is a clear nod to the main theme of the show. There are so many accurate details in the stage, down to the massive split of the arena seen in the show as well. The objects scattered around gives many nods to characters and story elements from the series. Starting from the bottom of the stage, we can see this drawing of Pearl, which is actually a nod to the episode Steven vs. Amethyst, where Pearl gives out stickers of her face called Pearl Points, basically rewarded to Steven when he does well during training at the Sky Arena. Amethyst's whip can also be seen around here as well, one of the main crystal gems that is allied with Steven during the series, and hopefully a playable character in the future. We can also see this bag from the Big Donut, a local coffee shop located in Steven's hometown of Beach City. While I don't remember this particular item throughout my whole watch time, it does share big similarities to the Big Donut's logo, as seen on clothing items worn by some characters in the show. Speaking of the Big Donut, we have a couple of pink Big Donuts seen next to the slim brown object. This is likely a pizza box from Fish Stew Pizza, a local pizzeria in Beach City. Let me know down below if you noticed if it's something else entirely though. Ever wondered what Fish Stew Pizza even looked like though? Well, the dish itself can be seen also underneath the stage. A dish only the character Amethyst can seem to stomach in the series. Moving along, we can see Steven's signature cheeseburger backpack. This nostalgic piece of apparel was introduced in its own episode and was used multiple times in the show and in the Steven Universe video games due to its surprisingly large amount of space on the inside. We also can spot a can of apple juice next to the backpack. a drink that characters like Pearl were seen trying out before in the series. Fun fact though, it shares striking resemblances to a Taiwanese soda called apple sidra. On the same topic of beverages, there are also these durian juice boxes scattered around the stage. This is a drink we see Steven and Connie enjoying during the series as well. In specific versions of the stage, a cookie cat can also be seen here. Moving on to the objects in the background, we can spot a purple jester hat, also seen in the Steven vs. Amethyst episode. Steven himself is seen wearing this in the episode while playing on his GameCube. I don't remember if it's seen again in other episodes though, as it's been so long since I've watched the show. There's also this green chalkboard from Pearl's training lesson in the Steven vs. Amethyst episode. There's also more Pearl points on the board here, in addition to the one spotted earlier at the bottom. The swords scattered around appear to be copies of swords that Pearl is seen spawning from the gem on her forehead throughout the series. There's also Rose's sword here as well, the signature weapon of Steven's mom used during the series. That same sword later being hidden in her pink lion and then given to Steven's friend Connie, a character that I would no doubt love to see in this game. One of my favorite details here is the formation of diamonds above the entrance to the arena. They're positioned in the design of the Great Diamond Authority symbol, with the pink portion somewhat destroyed. Without spoiling the show, this is a reference to the 4 diamonds that initially ruled the various gem characters throughout the series. The pink one on the bottom being shattered teases one of the biggest plot points in the series, with something shattering that happens to the pink diamond ruler that I won't get into here. The same story is also referenced by the statues scattered around the stage, seen by these 3 statues of gems holding weapons, with the statue on the far left being destroyed except for the legs. Blue Diamond ship can also be seen looming to the right of the screen, each diamond ship basically being a body part that can combine into a Megazord-like appearance. Some fans have already pointed out that Blue Diamond ship is on the wrong side here though, seeing that Blue Diamond ship is left-handed and Yellow Diamond ship is right-handed. I guess we should let it slide though for now, seeing that the devs are busy enough improving the game often. The ship flying on the left of the screen that appears and flies off periodically is a roaming eye, a type of ship first seen operated by an army of ruby gems, and also makes more appearances throughout the series. Moving on to the next stage, we have the stage that requires no introduction, the Batcave from Batman. While the stage seems to be more inspired by the animated series, noted by the photos of the Joker and Alfred on the Batcomputer in the background, we actually have a medley of Batman paraphernalia from multiple different properties, down to even a medley of the music. TK Van Cam on YouTube points out that you can actually hear multiple Batman themes in the stage's soundtrack, more specifically the theme from the Dark Knight film, and Danny Elfman's version from the 1989 film. They add that you can also hear a Superman tone and parts of the animated series theme as well. Let me know down below if you discovered any other musical references on your own. The Batmobiles placed on both sides of the stage are actually models of the Batmobile from the 1989 film. There's a T-Rex in the background placed in one of the Batcave's few entrances. This is apparently an animatronic model of the dinosaur that even functions as a defense mechanism for the Batcave in some continuities. There's also the obvious Batcomputer, but I believe here it may give us part of the story of how Batman ended up in the MultiVersus world from the DC universe. Do remember he's the first character we see getting teleported to the MultiVersus world in the You're With Me trailer. The biggest factor here on the computer is a light appearing from the city shown on the map, presumably Gotham obviously, and quite possibly the location of the Batcave. We also have what appears to be the picture of a wormhole being simulated right next to a photo of what appears to be a galaxy of some sort. My theory here is that Batman possibly investigated this anomaly on the computer, only to end up transported through a wormhole to the world of MultiVersus, also as seen in the You're With Me trailer. Obviously, clues are pointing this to be the never-ending story's evil entity called the Nothing, but it's more of a cloudy energy in the films than this light effect, to my knowledge. Maybe instead this is someone or something else entirely transporting them to the MultiVersus world to save it from this nothing entity. We'll hopefully find out this answer in a future story mode of some sort. Next up, we have the Tree Fort from Adventure Time. This is our main base of operations for Finn and their friends, and also functions as a guard post on the edge of Candy Kingdom. Like the show, this tree itself is a weeping willow and has a main canopy and 3 smaller canopies that branch out from the center. The canopies are connected by these narrow wooden bridges. Built into the base of the tree is a wooden shack where the rooms inside the canopy can be accessed. Many decorations can be seen on top, including windows, flags, and chimneys. A pretty cozy and adventurous home for guys like Finn and Jake. This is supposedly a version of the fort before it was destroyed in the show's finale, possibly because of this nest of eggs that showed up in the finale's montage. The Ice Kingdom to the left side of the stage has these notable snowy mountains and is the location of the Ice King's castle. The Ice King being a villain with one complicated history in the show, but I won't get into those spoilers here. To the right of the stage, we can see the Mystery Mountains, first named in the season 1 episode Evicted, but they were never explored until the season 4 episode Gotcha. The relaxing music for this stage is a remix to the show's theme, Come Along With Me.
Come along with me, and the butterflies and bees.
And Man Lorette Party from the season 1 episode When Wedding Bells Thaw. A snail can also be seen hanging out in the background. This character is hidden in every episode of Adventure Time, excluding some episodes and shorts. The snail is usually seen waving at the screen, and its cameos are a running gag in the show. That snail eventually gets possessed by the Lich character, but then gets unpossessed. Again, a long story that I won't get into here. Fun fact though, the snail may just be the character with the most appearances in the show. Also, apparently having the same number of appearances as Finn. The roof area of the tree fort is the main focus of the stage. Although this appears to be the top of the tree's canopy, it's actually a solid surface up there, seen being used for parties and star watching in the episodes Power Animal and Incendium. The boat shown here also has more inside than the game actually shows. Seen mostly in the episode Slow Love, Finn and Jake keep the boat as a type of lookout view at the very top of a branch at the top of their treehouse. The attic can be seen on the left side of the stage with a bucket hanging right underneath it. Supposedly the only way to get into the attic is from the weapon room directly below and climbing into this bucket using a pulley system to haul a person up. Otherwise, the bridge scene connected to the living room will give access to the attic as well. The red bucket with the rope is likely another way to the tree fort's roof area. There's also this brown object hanging that's also been seen in the season 6 episode Grable's 1000 Plus at Marceline's house, pointed out by Morgoth333 on Reddit. I couldn't find a clear item description, but Banjo Derp on Reddit brought up the idea of it being an outdoor fireplace called a chimenea. P-Tatoface on Reddit responds by saying that Jake possibly uses this as a stash for things he wants to keep away from others, since, you know, he can stretch to reach it and all that. I personally have no idea, but What are your thoughts on this? Now, taking a trip back into the 70s, we have the Haunted Mansion from Scooby-Doo. Breaking this down was actually pretty fun and eye-opening to research, seeing that the stage is likely inspired by several things of the same name, but more specifically something from Disney. Going from least likely to more likely, there's a 2020 board game called Scooby-Doo Escape from the Haunted Mansion. There's also an interactive amusement park ride from the 2000s called Scooby-Doo's Haunted Mansion. Now, even though the design of the stage doesn't match any of these from what I've researched, it does look like a particular haunted house experience from Disney. Taking a look at the grand entrance hall from the Haunted Mansion 2003 film from Disney, we can likely say that this Scooby-Doo stage is heavily inspired by this infamous design. Onto the music, YouTube users Axel Wust and Shark Attack 369 pointed out that it's likely a nod to the original investigation theme from the original Scooby-Doo Where Are You series. Onto the details sprinkled throughout, pictures of villains from Scooby-Doo Where Are You can be seen in the background and even underneath the stage. We see a photo of Redbeard's ghost from episode 14. Next to that, there's the ghost of Mr. Hyde from episode 18. I couldn't figure out who the photo on the top could be though, so let me know your thoughts down below. There's also a phantom shadow from episode 16 that can be seen running around in the background during the match. There's also a nod to the caveman villain from episode 20 in an ice block under the stage. The chest of demons from Scooby-Doo in the Curse of the 13th Ghost film can also be seen here under the stage. The last thing I could point out here are the sets of armor on both sides of the stage. These themselves are likely a nod to the Black Knight from Scooby-Doo Where Are You's first episode. What a night for a night. Unfortunately, I couldn't find out what the rest of the items are, nor identify the heads of the statues in the middle. Let me know if you figured these out down below. Finally, we have the stage that started it all. Trophy's Edge, an original stage complete with its own original music. Garnet, I believe, also hums a tune of the game's theme at the start of some matches. Moving on to the obvious details fans pointed out already in the stage though, we can see Wonder Woman's statue from Themyscira and Brainiac's bottled city of Kandor. There's a giant war horn from Game of Thrones and a giant Acme box full of fireworks from the Looney Tunes. Finally, in the back left, there's a detail that not many players pay attention to. Fans of the Lord of the Rings series can spot Sauron's tower in the background. Also called the Dark Tower, this place is pretty much affiliated with the antagonist in the series. His eye can also be seen too in the water, but I can only find it in promotional photos of the stage. This tower though is no doubt an obvious indicator that Lord of the Rings characters are coming, aside from the obvious leaks. A little bonus round before we close out this video, there were these assets from the Trophy's Edge stage that were found on Reddit. There are even some items that haven't been discovered on the stage yet though, such as Green Lantern's lamp, Soren's eye, and a glider. I had no luck myself combing through the stage several times for clues, but if you end up hunting for these Easter eggs on your own, let me know what you find down below or even on social media. That's all the details that I could find in the MultiVersus stages that are out so far. This question's for you though. Did this video inspire you to pay more attention to the tiny details in these stages? Let me know down below. You can follow me on Twitter at TheTrueHD for superhero related tweets around the clock. Don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to this channel, and ring the bell for more MultiVersus analysis videos, plus much more superhero related content besides just MultiVersus. As always, thanks for watching if you have, and I'll see you all on the next video. Peace.